Hi, I'm Teresa Nelson. I'm the health coach at the Connecting Care Clinic. Thank you so much for joining. Today, I am just talking a little bit about sodium um, in blood pressure. So when your blood pressure is elevated, that is above 120 over 80, you are considered to have high blood pressure. And so there's lots of recommendations on how to get that down and what is normal and what we can be doing to improve that. So just a couple things. Silent killer. That is what high blood pressure is. So there are probably about half the adults walking around with some kind of elevated blood pressure and don't even know it. And so there are things that we can do, and through diet and exercise, and sometimes just taking that into our own hands instead of relying on maybe your yearly appointment with the doctor's office. You can get yourself a blood pressure cuff and monitor and check that periodically, and just kind of see where you're at, especially if you've been elevated at the doctor's office. So what they consider as normal blood pressure is 120 over 80 or less. So really less than 120 over 80, 120 to 100, 129 and below 80 is considered elevated blood pressure. And then 130 to 139 or 80 to 89 is stage 1 blood pressure or hypertension. And then 140 or higher, or 90 or higher is considered stage 2 blood pressure hypertension. So those are, that is really when you probably are going to be put on medication by the doctor. Stage 1, sometimes you can talk to the doctor and see if you can do some lifestyle changes to help that, to reverse that so that you're not having to be on medication. And so some risk factors that go along with that is, stroke, heart failure, vision loss, heart attack, kidney disease and failure. So some really serious things that can go along with having that elevated blood pressure. So the biggest thing that that we can do is obviously our diet, and a lot of times you'll have the doctor or a health coach or a dietitian give you the example of doing the DASH diet, which is dietary approaches to stop hypertension. And that is really revolving around increasing fruits and vegetables and decreasing sodium and fat in the diet. And so, we can definitely go into that, but I just kind of wanted to just kind of show you some of food labels that you might be a little surprised, but maybe you're not, but it might be just that you can start going through your pantry or when you're at the grocery store and just kind of take a peek at that. The one thing I did want to mention, is also during this time, we want to bring the sodium down, but we also want to keep the potassium up. And so that will be something that that you can get checked out at the doctor's office, where those numbers are as far as where's your potassium. And sometimes it's just taking a potassium supplement. Sometimes it's increasing fruits and veggies that are a little bit higher in potassium. And sometimes that potassium will just come up because you have been able to bring down that sodium. So first of all, getting rid of the shaker on the table. So if you have that or next to where you're cooking, please stop using the shaker bottle. Okay. So let's just go through just a few things. Let me grab. I have a pile here of some things, and I'll try to get through this quickly. So. What we're looking at is the food label. And I do really like people to check the food ingredients also. So it's really kind of looking at both of them. And so, for example, I have here chickpea noodles, and I apologize. The box is empty because we eat these. And so when we look at this, sodium is 0. So really trying to select, with no sodium in there. You will get sodium in other foods, and where you're going to find that the most is processed foods. So if you're going out to eat a lot, you know, buying a lot of packaged foods, you're going to see that. And so, for instance, you know, the chickpea noodles are great. I mean, it's a packaged thing, but no sodium. This one is garden wraps, and you know, 7 sprouted whole grain, and it's something that, you know, you're thinking, oh, this is healthy for me, I can have this. 260 milligrams in one wrap. And so what you kind of want to be seeing is that calorie to sodium ratio. So the sodium should be less than that, if not even half that, than the calories. And so 260 milligrams to 110 calories. So probably if you can have these, I mean, it's not like you can't. I don't remember if I showed you. I know it's a little hard to see just because we ate them. But maybe it's something that then, you know, earlier in the day or later in the day, you just have less sodium. And so I don't think I really went over that. The recommendation is 2,300 milligrams, so 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day for anybody who does not have high blood pressure. For somebody who does, 1,500 milligrams or less per day. So it is a significant amount less. This is burger buns. So again, 7 sprouted whole grain burger buns. And this has 140 calories to 290 milligrams of sodium. So again, maybe you only have half the bun then, or you have the bun and you just make sure that you have other things in your meal that is less sodium or no sodium. Quinoa, no sodium. So trying to select some of those things. I also wanted to show you, you know, brown rice, Minute Maid, again, no sodium. So you can create meals that have sodium in them, that's fine, but really trying to choose some of those things that don't have sodium or less sodium so that you're not having to worry about your blood pressure. Let's see here. So this is Ezekiel 4:9, sprouted flourless original tortillas. And these come frozen, I believe. And these 140 calories for 125 milligrams of sodium in one tortilla. So that would be pretty okay. So think about it. If you can have 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day, it averages about 700 milligrams per meal. Okay. So, I mean, you could definitely have that, you know, and not feel bad about it. And maybe even 2. Because it was 125 milligrams. But if you're, you know, having things on your taco that may be higher sodium, then you might want to be sticking to 1. I did want to show you this. This is something that new that we found, just because we, you know, we really try to really look at the ingredients, and we really want clean ingredients. And so we're not always paying attention to that sodium and calories. And so this one is Angelic Baked House 7 sprouted, no added salt. It's a whole grain bread. And this one, 90 calories with 25 milligrams of sodium. So I'll just kind of show you that. I know it's still a little bit harder to see just because it's pretty big loaf actually, pretty big slices. So that's great. This is what we typically get, this 100% organic whole grain wheat bread. And this one though is, you know, 110 calories to 190 milligrams of sodium. So really, you know, if you can select something like this, you're going to be better. You know, maybe the ingredients aren't organic, and maybe they're not perfect, but you got to kind of weigh that out. You know, what is more important to you at that moment, you know, keeping your blood pressure down or, you know, having total clean ingredients. Okay. They do have a reduced sodium one, but that one even has 100 milligrams per 90 calories. So that one even is still a little more. And then I wanted to show you these. So these are taco shells. So again, pretty good ingredients, outside of the canola oil, which is, at the bottom, and it does have some salt. So it's got 150 milligrams per 130 calories. So again, you can have it, but we just don't want to be adding salt to our diet otherwise. I also wanted to show you just a couple other things I have here. So ketchup. This one is an organic tomato ketchup. So again, really nice ingredients, but 160 milligrams per one tablespoon. Ouch. So again, you can use it. It's good nutrition, not good nutrition, but good ingredients if you're going to use ketchup. But wow, be careful with the sodium. And then this is to the ketchup with no added salt. Okay, and so this one, it still has some sodium, okay, from some of the ingredients that are in here, but 5 milligrams to 25 calories. So quite a bit less, and that is in 1 tablespoon. So, phew. The other thing I wanted to kind of show you, this is a little eye-opening to me, just thinking, peanuts and nuts, things, I think it's a lot of times we don't realize the salt that's on them. And these are cashews. And, the ingredients, cashews, peanut oil, cottonseed oil, and or sunflower seed so it's just adding oils too. So if you can avoid that, really great. And then of course, sea salt. So 85 milligrams per 160 calories in 1 ounce. So it's not horrible. Again, but if you're having, a little cup as in your hand a few times a day, that will all add up. And then these pistachios, roasted and salted, 160 milligrams to 170 calories. So again, they're okay, but again, just a little bitsy cup, a little handful in your hand can really add up, especially if you're having more than one little cuppy handful. Let's see. Okay, just a few more things here. Peanut butter. This one is organic peanut butter, naturally more. This has 65 milligrams per 180 calories. So this is great. So watch the canned foods. A lot of times we will buy something like this, no salt added. So just natural sodium in there, 35 milligrams to 30 calories. So that's great. And then this organic cream of mushroom soup. So, organic, it's mushroom soup, which all has some great stuff in there. 640 milligrams per serving. 640 milligrams per serving. So that is like almost your whole meal if you're splitting that up between 3. Let's see, what else did I grab here? Olives in a can. Okay. 110 milligrams of sodium for 20 calories. That's a lot of sodium. So be careful, especially with the holidays right around the corner. Tahini, which is sesame seeds. This has 45 milligrams to 210 calories. So not a bad deal. And that's 2 tablespoons. And then we have chosen classic mayo. And this 50 milligrams of sodium to 100 calories. So pretty good choice. Okay, so I think the takeaway is just really trying to look at your food, your nutrition label, okay, nutrition facts, and really just kind of paying attention to that. Some other things to improve your blood pressure, physical activity, lose weight, and quit smoking or decrease that. And then alcohol, be careful with that. Other than that, I did talk about eating some things with higher potassium, and kind of have a list of some things that are a little bit higher in potassium. So like bananas, orange juice, oranges, melons, broccoli, berries, beans, greens, flax, garlic and onions, some whole grains, avocado, sweet potato, butternut squash, nuts and seeds, tofu, edamame, beets. So those are just, just a few things that, are going to be, a little bit higher in potassium, and that has been shown to help decrease blood pressure too. So if you have any other questions or concerns, or you have some items you want to go through, we can do that. We can do a virtual, you can do a phone call, you can take a picture of it and send it to me, and we can take a peek at it. But I'm here for you, so please reach out, and I will do my best to answer those questions. But otherwise, please take care of yourself. Okay. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.